Hello everyone and welcome back to the pit for a new video. This time we finally move away from the analysis of the armies of Germany because the time is closing in for the arrival of the United States. Yes, as you probably already well know, soon the armies of the US will hit the shelves with the whole bunch of new rules, of new models, etc, etc, etc. So, in this video we will talk about the first two Intel leaks that World Games released over the last few weeks. We will have a look at the national rules, the official national rules that will come into play when the army book is finally released, and then we will have just a quick look at some of the new units that we are being promised. Let me just start by saying that I am not a huge fan of always having new units added to the game. Again, I fully realize this makes perfect sense from a marketing point of view, so I won't criticize World Games for doing that, but it's just that in my own personal opinion I'm not particularly excited by having new rules, new stuff. What interests me the most as a player is for the rule set to be good, because if the rule set is good, you can do whatever you want with it. Of course, needless to say, you are, as a player, you are free to adapt for your own private games, whatever home rules you want. That's not the point. But if you somehow want to play either competitively, or if you just like to play by the book, so if you don't like house ruling, which, by the way, as a rule of thumb, I do not particularly like myself. I mostly like to stick by the rules as they are written, even with their shortcomings. So again, it's not these kind of news that excites me personally, but let's just have a look. So let's begin with the national rules. Fire maneuver. We already had the chance to know and either love or love not these particular rule. It's the evolution of the second edition Fire and Maneuver. Of course, getting rid of the penalty for moving and shooting completely would be too much for third edition, so they just kept it simple. For every 3-man arm for a squad within a squad armed with a rifle or carbine, you just add an additional shot. This is basically an improvement over the English national rule, which I expect to be changed because right now it sucks, because the English national rule only applies to units that receive a fire order, so who stand still, while the US national rule also applies on advanced moves, which of course makes it way more useful than its British counterpart. Decent rule, nothing awesome, just a solid, nice, cute, balanced rule in my opinion. You have air superiority, which remains the same both from second edition and from the main army book. You basically get to call 2 airstrikes in a single game. I am fully convinced that airstrikes are way less impactful on average than artillery barrages. First of all, because airstrikes can literally be countered with flak units. So it's okay, it's a decent rule. Personally, I've started to loathe forward observers because I don't think they are particularly good for the game, even though they make sense from a historical point of view. But then again, I don't think it's game breaking by itself. Then we have the old modern communication rule, which actually tells you that armies that come from reserve do not get a penalty, a -1 penalty to their order test, which is nice. Again, cute, not game breaking, so I like it. Now, what we do not see, and this is before we move to the actual new army special order, is the one that allowed you, I don't remember what it's called, gyro stabilizers that allows your veteran tanks to avoid the -1 penalty for moving and shooting. It is not clear to me whether or not they just forgot to put it here or they decided to get rid of it. Again, in 2nd edition it was basically useless. You almost, well, I never saw too much veteran armor in 2nd edition, so it was very, very niche as a rule that most of the times had basically no impact on the game. And then we have by air, land, and sea, which goes by the same reasoning as defend the fatherland used to go with the German army. So these rules allow you to, and I am now okay. Let me just stay here for a little while. This rule allows you to tailor your list so that you can fully field airborne companies or marine companies or ranger companies. This rule, in the very same way Defend the Fatherland works for Germany, in my opinion, is a horrible rule. We should get rid of it immediately. Why, you ask me? Because it's not balanced. First of all, follow my reasoning. Tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. I would be very happy to have some back and forth on this one. So, I think we can all agree that in 3rd edition, veteran troops are super strong. They were strong in 2nd edition, but their strength was somehow mitigated by the fact that sometimes you could use like regular troops, and with all the minuses to hit roll, regular troops could have basically good survivability if they were in hard cover, etc., etc. Now, 3rd edition is way more deadly. Troops get hit way more often than they used to in 2nd edition, which means very simply that having veteran troopers means that you die on a 5+, of course, before cover saves. And this is huge. This is a huge survivability boost for veterans. In 2nd edition, the strongest troops overall on the field were veterans with assault rifles or SMGs, or assault weapons in general. And what does 3rd edition do? Let's have a look. Airborne. Units must be taken as veteran. Alright, so you are first to go with a kind of troop that is already the strongest. Of course, you pay more points, but they are way more survivable. And then you must be upgraded to stubborn. Stubborn is a huge rule. Again, in 3rd edition, even more important than it was in 2nd edition. You get hit more, you get killed more. And now in 3rd edition, you also have officers. You can get to 11 on your leadership, on your order check, on your morale check. Stubborn, you check your base value. Your veteran troopers will not run away. Yes, they will when they fuber. Yes, but on overall, you get what I mean. They do not flee. Normal veterans, you've pinned them enough. They flee. Veteran paratroopers, they do not flee. And again, giving this rule also to troops like mortar and support troops in general, I don't see this as a tax. I see this as an added bonus. The same reasoning goes with Marines. If taken as veteran, units must be upgraded to stubborn. Again, it's not a tax, it's an advantage. Of course, you can use regular Marines and just be cut to pieces, but why would you? You can have a troop of stubborn veteran Marines. Yeah, very thematic, but very boring. Rangers, again, have a very strong special rules. Rangers Lead the Way is a very strong unit ability. Having a free run move gives you an incredible edge in all of the scenarios where positioning matters. Take, for example, Demolition, Top Secret, or even just the one where you have to get objectives. And pardon me, the name escapes me at the moment. With Top Secret, you are basically 90% guaranteed to be able to get that suitcase in your turn 1. And in Top Secret, the army that gets the suitcase in turn 1 is a ridiculous advantage, because now they play to win the game, while 90% of the time the other player is forced into I try not to lose mentality. Because once the suitcase, especially if you manage to get like first dice second turn and you start moving back toward your lines, then it's very hard for your opponent to pick up the suitcase and run off their own table edge. So plus Rangers Lead the Way absolutely counters the Italian special rule, which is again one of the strongest in the game, where you are not allowed run moves in the first turn of the game. This move does not happen during the first turn of the game. It's explicitly says that Rangers are allowed to make a run move after both sides have finished up, but before the first turn of the game. So unless they FAQ, it 99% neuters the Italian special rule. And so what I am asking is why do you want, you as company, as War Games, want to promote a type of gaming that moves away from the let me call them the rank and file, taking them from a fantasy perspective. Why do you want us to be so encouraged to play veterans? I don't think it's good for the game. Why would I use normal, air quotes, veterans when these options are so broken, each on their own way? Why would I use regular troops besides, I don't know, I like regular troops. I like the regular Joes that are drafted into combat, and I will keep using them, don't get me wrong, but I'm really bothered by the fact that if I was to play hardcore, there will be just one option: go veteran, go special rules. And again, the same goes with Germany. Fallschirmjägers, super strong. Gebelsjäger, super strong. All these special rules that do no good to the game. Again, in my humble opinion, this does not make sense to me. And now that we have 2 out of 2 new books that have rules like this, you can be 100% sure that all the following armies of XXX will have something similar. And I hate it. I cannot stress enough how much I hate this type of rule. It's very bad for the game. It's not balanced because 1 point is not enough. I don't know. Let me know again. Let me know if you think I'm crazy to have thoughts like this. But again, it does not make any sense. The easy way: take veteran troopers with SMGs. Easy peasy. Best units in the game by far. Let's move on. Let's check some of the new troops. You have armored infantry, mortar squad. Basically, these are again mechanized infantry. This is a new mechanic we saw with Panzer Grenadiers, even though in the US Army it works slightly differently. In the Armies of Germany, Panzer Grenadiers basically get a +1 bonus, or actually -1 bonus, to their order tests when they try to mount or dismount a vehicle. US mechanized infantry can actually reroll any failed order, and in addition, if the transport vehicle is destroyed, the unit just suffers D3 hits rather than D6 hits, so it's very strong. This is thought of as an additional support unit. I don't know, I am a little bit perplexed. I haven't thought too much about it, but the idea isn't too exciting. Same reasoning goes with the heavy weapons rifle team. So basically is just another bunch of foot-slogging troops that you can take in an heavy weapons platoon. I don't know, it doesn't make too much sense to me, especially because the team starts with just 3 men and can be upgraded just to 5. I don't know. It doesn't make too much sense to me. We have the mortar jeep. Again, that doesn't excite me too much, but it's a soft skin, so it gets automatically killed. If wounded, it's a light mortar. It's okay. If you want to take it, take it. It doesn't change the meta, I think. And now, again, we come to the worst offender of all. yet another multiple rocket launcher. I think I have stated enough times, in fact so many times that you will be bored by listening to me saying these things. Multiple launchers in a vacuum, having one multiple launcher can be fun, can be interesting, can be a nice change of pace. But again, why do you give me the opportunity to spam multiple rocket launchers at even 56 points for inexperienced? Why? Even with the new FAQ about multiple rocket launchers having an increased minimum range, they still can break your games. If you want to make friends, do not bring multiple rocket launchers. Or then again, especially do not bring multiple rocket launchers. They are not fun. They are not fun for your opponent, because if you roll enough sixes, the game becomes miserable for both of you. Honestly, no. Please do not get these. The rocket trucks. No, I will not get these. I don't care. No multiple rocket launchers. Take one if you want, of course. You do what you want. Let's be clear. You do what you want. If you really think the fun way is to take multiple rocket launchers, be my guest. Just don't ask me to play with you. Sorry. And I'm starting to wonder how many more of these we are going to see. Then again, the main problem being the new platoon system that allows it to spam crap units like these. It just gets me. It gets me every time. I don't like this. So, what to think of this new book? Too early to say. If Armies of Germany is an indicator of what the new books are going to be, it's going to be a book that you need to get, because if you play the United States, you need to see which new units you get, if they moved on their excuse me for the notification here. You will need to get it, but I do not particularly look forward to it. Again, the core of 3rd edition, I'm liking it. Don't get me wrong, but there are little things that do not go in the right direction, in my humble opinion. And when I see rules such as these, and units such as these, they do not make me a happy panda. That's it. All right, I've kept you long enough for today. I thought this video would be shorter, but then I start rambling, so apologies for that. I'll see you soon for another video. As usual, until that time, be safe and ciao ciao.